Hello, my friends. Welcome back to more trading signals for crypto. Today is the 8th of April, and we see basically that my calls have been extremely accurate, man. I mean, if you have been following my work, you know that I used to do predictions, but in a very different style than what I'm doing right now. It's a new technique, it's a new strategy that allows me to basically predict the exact days, or rather, the days that are high, that have the highest amount of likelihood of chance for the movements to happen. So the first call was I told you to long either the 2nd or the 7th of April. Those were the most strongest correlations in my predictions, and we got a very nice long on the 2nd. Now, later I told you that shorting the 5th of April was going to be possibly a very good idea, and exactly at the same day, we got the highest position and we can do a very good short. And from there, I actually told you that the 7th of April was going to be an exceptionally good opportunity for a long. And again, look at this massive long. This is a very good trade. You can actually double your money or even triple your money if you have enough leverage with this single trade. So we have three consecutive trades, three consecutive wins. If you have been following my work, you know that I post this mostly on Twitter. I don't really do daily videos on YouTube, so for the YouTube people, you subscribers, you need to check out my Twitter account, my X account, because that's where I post daily any updates, any of my trades, any signals. Now from here, it gets kind of complicated, kind of funny, because the next strongest pivot, in my opinion, is going to happen around the 10th of April. And judging by the way it's looking like, I believe it's going to be a good time to long again, because this day, the 7th of April, was such a very volatile day that you can maybe get two pivots in a single day. Okay, we got the long pivot around the bottom, but we also got a very nice position to short. In fact, I do have a short open right now. Okay, well, actually, yesterday at the highest possible point of yesterday. So I have that short still going on, still printing some money. But that is what I was telling you guys. I mean, the fact that it was such a powerful and very volatile day. In fact, one of the most volatile days, at least the most volatile day so far in April. And when you have that situation, maybe sometimes we can get two pivots in a single day. So if that's the case, this is a short pivot as well. The 7th of April was also a short pivot. From there, we can maybe expect the price to dump all the way around the 9 or 10 of April. Okay, from where we can long again. Okay, because I do have in my predictions that I do for clients, I do have the 10 of April and beyond, like the first 3 days, almost completely green. It's only red around the 14th of April. So if that's the case, we're going to dump a little bit more and then pump back up again until around the 14th of April, which is kind of close to these projections that my indicator is doing. As well as obviously, you look at this, the 10th of April is a very, very strong contender for a nice pivot. Okay, so that's the situation. Okay, if that does happen, maybe tomorrow we're going to dump around the 9, maybe some range. I expect to see some range, maybe some relaxation of the price, maybe a little bit lower. We can possibly find a lower position there, and around the 10th of April, then we can long again. That's the situation. The other scenario that I have is that we pump tomorrow and it continues pumping basically up until the 10th of April. From there, we can short. Basically, what I'm talking about is the opposite scenario, but it's very unlikely because this drop is already very significant, in my opinion, and it's enough to actually turn red on many coins. For example, on Solana, it's on red right now. It hasn't closed red, which is ideally what I want to see, ideally what the indicator, or rather how to use correctly the indicator. But if we go to other coins, for example, AVAX, we're going to see AVAX is already red. Okay, AVAX already closed red, and this can basically mean that it's very likely, it's going to be almost guaranteed that we're going to dump even more in the coming days. At least tomorrow, another red day, and maybe also on the 9th. Okay, I do have some corrections for those days, which basically, like I told you, means that in my scenario, uh, I believe the first one that I detailed is going to be the most likely to happen. That means we're going to dump all the way until the 9th or the 10th of April, from where we can long again. And from there, we're going to do another short. That's basically the reason why I haven't updated these calls. I haven't added the next short because the 7th of April also appeared in my predictions as a potential short day, but not in the same magnitude of power that it appeared on the longs. So obviously, like I told you, it was a very volatile day. So some of those days are extremely volatile, and they can offer basically same two pivots for a single day. That's very, especially very noticeable in the 1 hour time frame, because this is a pivot low and this is a pivot high. Okay, if you use indicators like the fractals, the Williams fractals indicator, you are going to get basically the pivots, the fractals forming exactly at the points that I just did, that I just highlighted. This area right here and this other one right here. So in a single day to see two opposite pivots is very rare, but it can happen, and it has happened before. Just not in the recent past, okay? Not really in the recent past, because another very volatile day was around this, but this was really a continuation. The lowest point, the highest point was reached on the 1st of April, but the lowest on the second day, on the on the day after, which is the 2nd of April. So right there with my call. So like I told you, we can do get examples like this because it was an extremely volatile day. That's basically what I see happening for the next coming days. Okay, it is, in my opinion, the most logical conclusion. We can see already many coins are in red on 10 hours. This basically means it's going down even more, and we're going to see, and we will have to wait until the 10th of October. I mean, of October, of April, to see a potentially nice position to long again. If I were to say, the price can dump in Solana around 78, maybe 76 again. And again, this is going to range even more. April is going to be possibly even more rangish than October. I mean, than October. I always say October, I don't know why. But maybe it will be even more rangish than March and February. So around May, which is the predictions that I actually also told you guys about. Around May, I believe we're going to reach a new low or possibly a sweep of this some, maybe not the entire candle of the week by then, by sometime around May. In fact, my indicator is printing, for example, 76 around this area. I don't think it's going to go that low, uh, at least not until July or October, where I can expect to see the bottom of the crypto cycle forming. But if we go to this very significant high, you can see that the indicator was printing for a long time 72 on Solana, which is very likely that we can see that either on April, on late April maybe, or around May. With when I was telling when basically the month that I gave for the predictions. Anyways, follow me on Twitter, like I said. Okay, have a good time. Take care. Subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys next time.